fine, you blow my mind. Hey Mickey, hey Mickey, oh Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey Mickey, hey Mickey.
We may live in Taiwan and go to a 99% Asian school, but I'm sure we are all familiar with the sassy African American girl trope. For those who need a reminder, the sassy black girl, according to tvtropes.org, is
defined by her vivaciousness and humor. She is generally fun and insightful, but firm in decisions, trustworthy, and speaks her mind. The character will usually be sexually liberated and have no qualm acting in a sexual manner.
Although it is not directly stated in the definition, careful research has been done by yours truly to identify catchphrases and signature movements of this pervasive trope. Furthermore, the sassy black girl is typically not as slim as a main character and is usually the sidekick.
To analyze this trope of the sassy African American girl, we studied the movie Bring It On 3 All or Nothing. While watching the film, we were shocked by the number of racist scenes. Therefore, in this blog, we will not only prove that the movie is racist and stereotypes the character of Carisha as a sassy black girl, but also connect the movie and the trope to the adventures of Huckleberry Finn and the African American character Jim.
First of all, let's explore how this concept came to be. The concept of a mammy figure has actually been around even before the Civil War. The most notable of them all was Scarlett O'Hara's mammy from Gone with the Wind. Scarlett's mammy was fiercely loyal and showed her love through her sassy comments to and nagging of the children. According to tvtropes.org, the trait of sassiness slowly spread to other categories. It was no longer restricted to a mother figure. When the civil rights movement gained momentum in the 1960s, African American people in the media could be more outspoken, and African American women had doubled incentives to do so, because around that time, the feminism movement also gained momentum. Thus, in an almost evolutionary-like process, the sassy black girl emerged. Sadly, evolution hit its peak around then, and now the character type is degrading. The sassy black girl has been stereotyped to the extent that she has now become a caricature.
Bring It On 3 All or Nothing is a prime example of the degradation of stereotypes. The saddest part is, the filmmakers probably tried to make the film non-racist by making the African Americans win the final cheer competition, but in the process, through the speech and action of the characters and the portrayal of the contrasting neighborhoods made it even worse.
For example, while we've all learned about white flight, which is middle-class Caucasians moving to the suburbs, the movie exaggerates this phenomenon. Crenshaw Heights High School is an all-black school, and there are no African Americans at Pacific Vistas High School. Furthermore, on Brittany's first day at the new school, all the racial aspects of the scene are exaggerated to a truly ridiculous degree. Not only is Brittany's car clearly superior to the other cars in the parking lot, the movie actually had a close-up scene on the Volkswagen logo. Also, of course, the first things African American students will do upon seeing a Caucasian person is to start shouting out racial slurs.
Hey. Looks like we finally about to get some snow on campus.
Look, y'all. Ball baby must have got separated from her mother.
What's she doing here?
I don't know.
This ain't the OC.
Maybe she's lost.
And of course the white girl will have the real brand purse, and obviously the black girl will have the knockoff purse.
Oh, no, you did.
Come on, man.
OMG, look what you did.
Well, it's not like it's real.
For real?
What? And how would you know? Because this one is real.
Ooh, that's nice.
Touch that?
My mama bought me this purse.
Oh, I love
sure.
Mama.
Yeah.
Well, your mother must shop at the swap meets because that knockoff sucks.
Did we mention that the white girl acts very stupid in her first meeting with African American students? Her actions are completely at odds with her behavior before. I mean, seriously, look at the way she's walking.
Okay, so even though we realized that the movie was racist and exaggerated stereotypes to an almost blasphemous level, we still had hope for the characters. But did we see any fully developed 3D characters? Did we see any growth in any of the black characters? No and no. Sorry for expecting too much. Don't believe us? Let's take a look at Carisha, who fits the trope so perfectly it was as if the screenwriters copied down the characteristics from tvtropes.org and called her Carisha.
Our sassy black girl stereotypes checklist.
Noticeably less slim than the other characters.
Check.
Is always eating candy.
Check. 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 Check.
Unrealistic childish hairstyles.
Check.
Very open and more sexually liberated.
Check.
Head rolling and finger shaking.
You can't do that.
Says yeah with an emphasized accent.
Check.
Is always the trustworthy, reliable sidekick.
Carisha, how my shit?
Oh, wait a second. Hold on.
Did you just call me fat? And I did not
just talk about your mama? FYI, you did.
Jack.
So how does all this relate to the adventures of Huckleberry Finn? Like Jim, Carisha is a good character of her race. It's pure racism that a black character can seem miraculously good, but only relative to their race. The white supremacists expect the people of their race to be good, and the people of other races to be less good. That's why the Mammy characters are so popular. The saddest part is, even as the good characters, or perhaps because of it, Jim and Carisha are still two-dimensional.
Jim's 2D characteristic is the good slave, who, contrary to society's expectations, has moral character and is overly compassionate, even to the extent of giving up his freedom for an immature and some would argue cruel boy. Carisha not only embodies the stereotype of the sassy black girl, but she also lacks character growth. She is always sassy and more open-minded than the other characters, not that they ever listen to her advice, because, well, like Jim, she's just not the main character, right? Yep, and that's why she doesn't even need a last name. 2D characters can be forgiven. I mean, look at what John Steinbeck managed to do with his cast of flat characters. However, when the two-dimensional characters become tropes and stereotypes and are used to perpetuate racism, that's just not okay. Here's the problem. When someone like Camille, the aggressive ringleader who most violently opposed Brittany, the white girl, says,
Because the things we do get us noticed. Even when we don't win, they say we're the best.
the audience might not be inclined to believe her. But when a character like Carisha, who exemplifies the trope of the sassy black girl and is thus perceived as trustworthy and more open-minded, obviously agrees with Camille's assessment of racism, the audience will take Camille's words for truth. Now, maybe the movie makers did that on purpose. I mean, in a convoluted way, the movie was trying to be non-racist by showing racism and then turning everything around by having the underdog African-American cheerleading team win. But it doesn't work, because notice, they're still dressed in provocative clothing and they still perform highly sexualized moves. Seriously, the movie was not only degrading Carisha's character, but it was also advancing racial stereotypes. According to the message the movie is trying to get across, Oprah Winfrey's talk show was obviously dirty and super sexualized, because how else did she manage to become so famous? And of course, Barack Obama was obviously only elected to the President of the United States because of his sex scandals. And, of course, Tiger Woods was never famous before his sex scandals got leaked.
So here's a note to future movie makers. Even if you're trying to be ironic by showing racism in your movies, it's probably a better idea not to, until you've managed the art of developing three-dimensional characters. And it's probably a good idea to stay away from the trope of the sassy black girl, because as Marilyn Kern-Foxworth, an author and marketing expert who studies how blacks are portrayed in advertising, said,
Not only are we being given images of who we are supposed to be, but others are also formulating their images of us based on that. People have already determined who we are and how we are going to react in certain situations.
Furthermore, as Tommy E. Whitler, a marketing professor at DePaul University, points out,
it is perpetuating a stereotype that black females are strong, aggressive, and controlling people. I don't think you want to do that.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.